The American cowboy culture is the result of the blending of various cultures, each bringing their own skills and traditions to create an iconic way of life. But who were the cowboys and where did this unique culture come from? After the Spanish colonization of the Aztec Empire in 1521, which marked the beginning of New Spain, modern-day Mexico, the encomienda system was established to convert indigenous people to Catholicism, often exploiting them through forced labor. Most Spanish settlers were men, leading to intermarriage with indigenous and African women, creating new groups like mestizos, Spanish and indigenous, and mulattoes, Spanish and African. These groups, along with indigenous people, developed cattle driving techniques influenced by Spanish riding styles and contributed to the cattle economy from modern Mexico to the U.S. These working earliest vaqueros, or cowboys. In 1598, Spanish conquistador Don Juan de Oñate led an expedition to New Mexico, establishing the first permanent Spanish colony in the area and claiming the territory for Spain. This marked the start of cattle driving in the region, with vaqueros moving cattle from New Mexico and later Texas to Mexico City. After Mexico gained independence in 1821, tensions grew between the Mexican government and the expanding U.S., especially over territories like Texas. In 1845, the U.S. annexed Texas, leading to a border dispute in the Mexican-American War, 1846 to 1848. The war ended with the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, where Mexico ceded about 55% of its territory, including California, Nevada, Utah, and parts of other states, in 1848 exchange for $15 million from the U.S. As Anglo-Americans moved into these newly acquired territories, they encountered the cattle-driving practices of the vaqueros. Many Anglo settlers adopted the vaquero techniques, which would eventually evolve into the American cowboy culture, continuing the legacy of Spanish cattle ranching traditions. This can easily be seen in the crossover of Spanish words into English, such as lazo becoming lasso and rodeos evolving into roundups. Formerly enslaved Black Americans played a key role in ranching, bringing skills from working with livestock and in kitchens. Many were part of the 5 civilized tribes who traveled to Indian Territory, now Oklahoma, and helped develop ranching operations before the Civil War. By 1819, African Americans learned roping and horseback riding on ranches in Texas. During the Civil War, they managed these ranches and, after gaining more freedom, worked on cattle drives for wages. By the late 1800s, up to 25% of cowboys were Black, with the job offering better pay than sharecropping during the Jim Crow era. Figures like Bass Reeves, the first African-American deputy U.S. Marshal, and Nat Love became legends of the American West, with Love winning rodeo contests in Deadwood, South Dakota. Rodeos, originating from cowboy tasks, became a key part of Western culture, with events like bull riding, calf roping, and bronco riding. The first rodeo took place in 1869 in Deer Trail, Colorado, and the first professional rodeo was held in Prescott, Arizona in 1888. Bill Pickett, a Black cowboy, invented bulldogging, revolutionizing rodeo with this popular event. George Fletcher, another Black cowboy, won a prestigious rodeo in 1911, despite initial racial discrimination. Native American cowboys like Jackson Sundown dominated rodeo competitions in 1911, with his success leading him to be hired as an exhibition rider. Cowboy music blends folk, ballads, and storytelling, influenced by Mexicans, African Americans, and Native Americans. Instruments like the banjo, guitar, and fiddle became central to the genre. Musicians like Gene Autry and Roy Rogers popularized it, shaping the foundation of modern country music. Cowboy food reflects diverse cultural influences. Indigenous peoples taught early settlers to forage and preserve food, with jerky and beans key to cattle drives. Mexican vaqueros introduced chili and tortillas, while German immigrants brought sausage, pork, stews, and biscuits. African American cooks added seasoning, creating flavorful meals like stews, beans, and cornbread. The American cowboy culture is a rich mix of European, Mexican, African American, and Native American influences. These combined influences form the hearty meals of the American West. These cultures brought their skills, traditions, and music, shaping what we know today as the iconic cowboy legacy that continues to impact American culture. Be sure to subscribe to iScope History for more stories. What part of American cowboy history stood out to you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below.